Mayuresh, thank you very much for joining in. Today we've had quite a few numbers. Stocks like Latent View, Aarti Industries, Rain Industries, Nazara too on the way down, reacting to a weak set of numbers. On the way up, you've got Shipping Corp of India up nearly 6%. MGL started the trade flat, but now has started seeing some buying. MGL has moved up nearly 2.5%. Anything in the earnings from the last 2 days which caught your attention, where you've upgraded or downgraded your estimates?
Afternoon, Rima. No, to a certain extent, I think shipping companies will report a decent set of numbers. So what Shipping Corporation reported, and as Mangalam rightly pointed out, I think the tanker or the crude tanker market has done exceedingly well. Dry bulk has always been a drag for shipping companies over the past few quarters. So again, I think Shipping Corporation, in terms of core reported numbers, the demerger, the expectations in terms of monetization of its land assets, obviously that props it up. So I think that estimation in terms of earnings outlook definitely was a bit compared to the street. I think in the same breath, you should probably be concentrating on GE Shipping as well, which probably stays put in the same sphere. Expectations in terms of spot rates for tanker markets remain stable. The NAV has grown at a very, very decent pace for GE Shipping as well. So I think shipping companies have done reasonably well. A few of these NBFCs, in my opinion, can continue doing well. So on our only lens, we are probably seeing more traction happening with interest rates expected to have peaked off, NIMs expected to stabilize, and expectations of disbursement growth picking up. So I think the stronger capital-owned NBFCs, where leverage problem is not an issue and where asset quality pressures are coming off, L&T financial pockets is something that we are probably looking at.
Not a bad looking screen, and looks like the Nifty is in the mood to end things above the 18,300 mark today. So let's squeeze in some final thoughts with Mayuresh. Mayuresh, let's talk about the biggest index gainer of the day, and that is IndusInd Bank. Of course, there is some positive commentary that came in from UBS. I think they've upped their target price, and that's kind of reflecting well on the stock. But what is your own take on how it's placed? When the results came, there was a little bit of unease, because I think slippages had gone up for IndusInd. What's your call?
So afternoon, Surabhi. No, I think on the overall construct, if you probably look at how the positioning is, the advances growth have been reasonable for IndusInd Bank. Again, it's very well diversified at this point of time in terms of their advance mix. Vehicle finance, 26% You've got microfinance, which is 11% and the other small components, including credit cards, around 4 to 5% as well. Now, asset quality pressures are clearly coming off. So GNPA is at 1.98. Net NPA is at 0.59, clearly are indicating that the stress in terms of the book is clearly and steadily coming down. At the same time, NIMs are expected to stabilize around at 4.28. Even if you take a range of 4.1, 4.2, I think it's quite reasonable. Expecting that the provisioning has largely gone up at 71%, still expected to inch a little bit higher with those expected credit loss provisions that will start kicking in. And therefore, I think the kind of expectations that one really has in terms of earnings delivery should probably start ensuring that ROAs and ROEs both stabilize going forward as well. So yes, I think on the only lens, trading above all the key moving averages as we track. So anybody holding should hold on. And valuations also not very expensive at this juncture at 1.4 times in terms of price to adjust.
Okay. By the way, Mayuresh, any thoughts on Varun Beverages? It's up 13 times since listing in 2016. Never had a down year. I think 2016 perhaps it ended lower. After that, it's just been up and up and up, relentless. And now it's crossed 1 lakh crores in market cap.
Afternoon, Prashant. I think tremendous move. We held it on our global and local portfolios as well. We did exit that 2 weeks back, and even after that, I think it's given a tremendous move. Fundamentals remain extremely strong. So if you look at the kind of volumes that they've done a CAGR of almost 24%, 569 million cases last year. They've almost clocked 800 odd cases last financial year as well. When you're probably looking at the overall revenue growth has been very, very stable. EBITDA margins expected between that 19-20% mark. You're probably looking at the mix itself. CSD, which is carbonated soft drinks, around 70%. Water is 22%. Juices take the rest. And therefore, the backward integration, along with expectations of margins continuing, with strong volume growth expected both in the Indian and the African markets, I think the kind of earnings expectations keep on outdoing the kind of earnings delivery that they probably do, but a little bit too expensive and a late stage based on the yield lens in our case as far as BBL is concerned.
All right. Mayuresh, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us. Quick conversation as always, but interesting and insightful. Thank you very much for joining us.